Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us here for tonight's webinar. My name's Tom Mahola. I'm an advisor here at Reddick Real Estate. And I'd like to introduce my local agents over in the San Antonio office, Christina and Gerard.
Hi, everyone.
Howdy.
I like that, howdy. All right. Well, tonight's webinar is on San Antonio, Texas, affordable, growing, and cash flowing. San Antonio is a great market. You're going to learn everything about it tonight. Definitely a lot of growth going on. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first and foremost, a little about me. I'm an advisor here at Marshall Reddick Real Estate. What does that mean? We're kind of like the quarterbacks. We help you with the initial planning, thinking about what investments you're looking for and really what would be the best move for your portfolio. I myself have assisted clients both in-state and out-of-state with single-family and multifamily transactions. Closed quite a few deals this year, both local multifamily, a couple places in Huntington Beach and Orange County, if everybody knows those areas. A lot of single family and multifamily out of state as well. I am, of course, a local California Realtor, have been for quite a few years now. And I actually do have my degree in real estate. I went back and got my associates of real estate on top of my other degrees, did the whole 2-year program, and I've just been real passionate about it ever since. I come from a family of educators, so the Marshall Reddick way of helping people with education first and making smart moves and smart investments really goes hand in hand and makes me happy to work here. A little bit about Marshall Reddick. I know a lot of people here tonight that we've connected. You've been Marshall Reddick clients for some years, but for those who are new, a little bit about what it is we do. Marshall Reddick Real Estate is what we like to call a trifecta. What that means is there's 3 parts you really need in the real estate investment world. That's, of course, full service real estate brokerage for purchasing, selling, listing, 1031 exchanging, whatever you might need, we can make that happen in-house in any office. We are also a private money lender. So that's a branch in and of itself that is very interesting. If you're looking for a private loan for a renovation, a build project, if you're just looking for a 30-year fixed loan, we do all of that. We also sell the notes too, but that's a whole different webinar to check out. And third, but definitely not least, is property management. Now, property management is the least glamorous, but the most important of that, because you can buy a great deal all day long, but I tell you what, if it's not managed effectively, it's not a good investment. So we have great in-house property management staff to really manage our clients' assets and make sure we keep the net operating income as high as possible year over year. We make it possible to purchase residential real estate in carefully selected areas of the United States. Our organization provides real estate brokers, contractors, property managers, and access to top resources such as lenders, CPAs, insurance agents, attorneys, and much more. I guess that boils it down. And if you have any more questions about any of our services, feel free to ask. All right, now here is a little information about the markets that we operate in and why we operate in them. So right now we have teams in 16 major metropolitan areas. That would be Phoenix, Arizona, Bay Area, California, Los Angeles, Orange County, Riverside, San Diego, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, Boise, Indianapolis, Clarksville, Memphis, and last but definitely not least, our Texas team, Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio. All right, now a lot of people ask, again, why we choose these markets. So here is the summarized reasons why. Number one, first and foremost, and the reason why I go into a lot of explanation of this is job markets. We look for job markets that have a ton of diversity. We look for a strong growing market because that really helps predict the growth and appreciation of certain cities. Now, I don't just talk about appreciation and values of purchase price, but talking about appreciation in rent as well. That's a number a lot of people don't really look into. Vacancy rate, of course, with a good job market comes growth and of course a steady stream of tenants who are lined up to rent your investment property. Economic diversity, again, going into the job market aspect, we're looking for a place that has multiple different economic channels for people for different forms of employment, manufacturing, medical, education, tons of different opportunities for people to have gainful employment. Housing affordability, that's a big one. If anybody here lives in California, they know that an entry-level home anywhere in Los Angeles or Orange County starts at about $700,000 to $650,000. That's not cheap. So in a lot of these other states, it's not quite as expensive. Landlord friendly. Again, if you own any real estate here in the sunny state of California, you'll know that we have that statewide rent control law. In Texas, you can do what you want with your asset. So we always pick states for investment that are a lot more landlord friendly. And last but not least, or there's one more after this, but a strong education. So we look at markets where we're always staying up to date on what's going on in the market. We're always doing market data packets, keeping those constantly updated and always checking into what's going on. And last but not least, there we go, reliable property management. I went into a little bit with the last slide, but I tell you what, property management is really the glue that keeps your investment together. Like I said, you can buy a great deal all day long, but if you have an extra month of vacancy or somebody drops a ball on something, we can't have that because that'll be your whole year's profits. So our team is wonderful and set in place, and their main prerogative is to keep your net operating income as high as possible. All right, I'll let you take it from here, Christina. I know you're a wonderful realtor, and let people know about the good stuff.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this evening. My name is Christina Dorier, and I've been in the real estate business since 1999. I started off in the industry in the lending side, so I was actually a loan officer for quite some time, for about 15 years. And then after that, after the market crashed, kind of stayed home for a little bit, had my first child. I'm married to a military Air Force husband. I have two amazing kids, a son and a daughter, and I just love real estate. I decided to get my license in 2014, and I've been working in partnership with Marshall Reddick, started working in partnership with them in 2016. And then shortly after that, we got our office in San Antonio, an actual property management team in San Antonio in 2017, and I've been with them ever since. So I have a passion in real estate. I'm very familiar with the city. I lived in San Antonio all my life, so I love what I do, and I want to explain more about our team. This is our San Antonio team. This was a recent picture taken. We are fully staffed with property managers, tenant coordinators, owner coordinators, maintenance managers and coordinators, and then our leasing agents. So we are fully staffed to help manage your property. If you also have properties that you already maybe own in San Antonio or Austin and thinking about buying, keep in mind we can get everything in one umbrella in one stop shop. So it makes it very simple, but we work as a family. We love working with our team. We just got a new office that we're renovating, so it's going to be a lot bigger to help with our growth. So everything is under one roof. We're one stop shop. We have sales. That's what I do. I'm the sales agent. I help you find your investment property that's going to be in a good area, that's going to appreciate good, that's going to have good rents, continue to get high rents, that's going to be low crime area, good schools close to lots of businesses and restaurants, and that I'm going to keep you away from the bad areas, because I'm very familiar with all the good parts of the city. We also, of course, do leasing. So we rent out, if there's ever the tenant ever needs to move out, we handle that really well. We do the make ready, we make sure the cleaning's done. And then we market the property for rent. The main goal is to have the lowest vacancies property, the lowest vacancy percentage, for the property. And then we just have a great property management team. So from the time you initially speak to myself or Gerard to tell us what your criteria is, what you're looking for, and we start sending you properties to look at. And then once you find a property you're interested, we help you with an offer price, let you know about the area, how long it's been on the market, and then we submit your offer. Once your offer is accepted, we help negotiate repairs during your contingency period. We do everything for you. And then after closing, we collect the keys, take them to the office, let our property management team know it closed, and then our maintenance coordinator will go out to the property, walk it, do his own, rent ready little checklist and let you know how much it'll cost to get it rent ready. And most of the properties we sell are going to be turnkey properties, so you're not going to need to do a lot of repairs. It's going to be very minimal. And then, of course, we sign it to a leasing agent who markets it for rent, who keeps really good contact with you and lets you know once an application's received, when the tenant's going to move in, and after the tenant moves in, everything, we're really good with keeping you informed with everything. So we're one-stop shop from the very beginning of finding and looking for your property to closing, and then, continue to managing your property. So you'll know who your contact is. If you have any questions on your owner portal, any repair questions, we're going to be there for the whole process for you. So you're not having to find another property management company after closing or having to worry about getting rented on your own. We do everything for you. We're full service real estate property management. We specialize in both single family and multifamily properties. So again, our program is 100% turnkey, one-stop shop. And there's not many companies that can do that. So that's a good plus for us. We had a tremendous year last year in sales. So this shows our offices that we have property management teams under. Orange County office, which is a Newport Beach office, LA office, San Antonio office, Clarksville, Florida, the Bay Area, all of these showing all the sales that we did in 2021. And then look how much we increased by from 2020. 2020 was right under 400 sales. 2021, we did well over 846 sales, which is a lot. That was $300 million in volume, which is really great. We have the team to do so. This is just showing you how many clients we helped. Because so many people. Also, this is showing how many people decided to buy after 2020. There has been inflation, in the economy. A lot of people have decided to move their money away from the stock markets into hard assets like real estate. So that just shows why the huge growth in sales is happening. 1031 exchanges, a lot of that has been going on as well. So that's just showing you a lot more people have been buying this last year versus the year before. And know who you are working with. So if you Google us or look online, our Zillow reviews, you can pull up any of our agents' names and pull up our Zillow reviews, and you can see how, like, most of us are 5-star realtors, and you can see our performance and look at our reviews. So that's just another key there to show you. And then here's a really good snapshot of San Antonio's, like our, sightseeing spots like the Alamo. We have the downtown Riverwalk, which is so beautiful. And then we also have the San Antonio Spurs, which we're really big fans of. Love going to the Spurs games. We have the University of Texas at San Antonio, actually Gerard's alumni there. So that's UTSA, located in a nice part of the city, which we sell a lot of properties at in the northwest side. We also have a good diverse of jobs in the city of San Antonio. So we're very healthy with our job market. That's what makes San Antonio so attractive, and not just the affordability, but all the different diverse jobs. There's never an issue trying to find jobs in San Antonio. So we have HEB, that's our huge grocery store. I know California has Ralph's, Safeway, Whole Foods. HEB is one of our major grocery stores that has a lot of employers or employees there. Toyota has a manufacturing plant company in the south side of San Antonio. USAA is one of our huge major employers. That's a military financial institution. Almost everybody that lives in San Antonio has a friend or family member that works at USAA. Like my whole family worked at USAA. I used to work at there. So yeah, it's a very good company for employees. So we see a lot of tenants that are renting that work at USAA. A lot of them work remotely too. And then we have Valero, which is an energy company. A lot of employees. So it's a good, diverse job market. That's what makes it so healthy. We also have the medical field because we have the medical center, which has a lot of medical workers like nurses, RNs, x-ray techs. And then we also have military. We're known as Military City. We have 3 military bases, and that attracts a lot of the military families that want to rent homes. They don't want to live on base. They want to live in the suburbs where the good schools are. So we get a lot of military families looking to rent. So here is a chart that I love to show. This is the appreciation chart that it goes all the way back to 1996, showing like your average price home that you could buy, like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,500 square feet house back in 1996 would have cost around $75,000. That same property now is worth a lot of, let's say like 265,000. So you can see how the appreciation has been very healthy and stable. We're not vital. We haven't spiked up, in values like California and other markets, and we haven't dropped really drastically like other markets, especially during 2008 to 2010 when the market crashed. It barely affected San Antonio values. It barely dipped below less than 3%. So that was really good to show that we have proven history that we're a very safe market to invest in. And we do classify our properties by property class. We have luxury, Class A properties, Class B properties, C and D. We do not recommend to sell luxury or Class C or D properties. C and D are going to be the lower price properties, and there you're going to get a lot of high maintenance, and the tenants are going to be very good. And it's just not, we do not recommend, and they're not even in good areas that we recommend that we would want to manage in anyways. So we stay away from selling Class C and Class D properties. Luxury, that's going to be your high end, so you're going to be in the negative. It's more for appreciation, and you have a longer vacancy time frame because that higher rent, it's harder to find people in that pool of renters. So the majority of our properties that we sell are going to be Class A properties and Class B properties. B properties are still great properties. It's just going to be within the price range below, I would say 225 to like 175. Once you start getting below 175, you're going to be in the C and D class, and we don't really recommend that. So we like to keep above 200K as much as possible. And then we say anywhere from 200K, the most of what we sell is 250 to 325. That's the majority of properties because that's the majority of people looking to rent in that price range for what those rental rates are going to be. So that just gives you an idea of what you can get for your money in San Antonio. And then this shows the typical home value of homes in San Antonio. And this is from Zillow through November 2021 last year was 243,000. But home values have increased a lot since then. I mean, it's been really going up really very well. A lot, and then so that same house now is 275,000. Yeah, a lot of people are selling, because of this, because of the appreciation. It's been just spiked up so much this past year. It's been really good. And then the medium rent in San Antonio is going to be $1,700 for your average, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Rents have increased by 13% Over the past 3 years, rents for a 3-bedroom home in San Antonio has also increased about 21%. And renter-occupied households in San Antonio make up about 39% of total occupied housing units. So a lot of people say, oh, isn't it bad to have a lot of rentals in an area? Isn't that bad? You're going to have, we're such a big city. We have rental properties almost in every zip code. It's impossible not to have, so, it's actually, it just shows you how healthy the market is in San Antonio. And we have no problems renting out any of our properties that we manage because they're all going to be in the areas that we have sold and that we recommended. And in the top 10 hidden gems of the housing market in 2022, I'm proud to say that San Antonio is in the top 10. So that's really nice to see based off of affordability and the healthy job market and everything that I just discussed. And, we're going to go over some more. San Antonio is on the top 10 for the housing market in 2022. And here's a link to our ebook. So we love to educate. We want to save you a lot of having to Google on your own about San Antonio. But if you go into our website on the top part where it says education, you can find the ebook under there. You just type San Antonio and it'll come up. This is constantly updated. We have a software team, a marketing team that keeps this ebook updated with all the demographics you need to know about San Antonio. Crime statistics, the areas, the job, the diverse job market, everything you need to know all on your fingertips right there. And then here's a property management fees and services. You can also find this on our website under services and then property management. And then you click inside to San Antonio and it'll show this exact fee structure. So I'm not going to go over everything, but basically overall for a single family home, it's going to be 8% of whatever the rent is monthly for the management fee. And then for multifamily, for 2 to 4 units, which is not commercial, it's like a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, it'll be 7% of whatever the monthly management or the monthly rent is. And then we don't charge when it's vacant. We only charge that when it's occupied because we only make money when you make money. And then we do charge a one-time leasing fee to find a tenant. So whenever it's vacant, we just charge half of the first month's rent. That's it. Anytime we need to find a new tenant. It's not every month. It's just for any time we need to procure a qualified tenant for you. And then the rest you can look on your own, but we're very competitive because most property management companies in San Antonio charge 10%, and us being 8% and 7% is below the standard norm anyways. And why Marshall Reddick Property Management? Like why shouldn't you, because I know there's other companies out there, but what makes us stand out compared to other companies? Well, the big one is we're real big on our software and website. We have the best software system out there for our tenants, for their tenant portal, for our owner portal, our accounting, everything there to help you and our tenants. Also, we don't own our own maintenance team. We don't have a maintenance team that we have like 1090 or W-2 employees. That would be a conflict of interest because you wouldn't really know what the true cost is if we did that. Other companies own their own management team, so they could charge whatever. We actually use outside vendors that we've been working with for many years that provide quality work, that give us good service and give us good a reasonable rate or fee because we give them a lot of business. And you see the vendor, like it comes from that company logo vendor, whoever the vendor is, what the bid is or what the invoice is, so we're not upcharging or adding. So that's also another big thing about using us versus other companies. And then the cost versus service, which is more important. Some people say, oh, I found a company that only charges 5%. Yeah, but their service, I mean, are they fully staffed? Do they have a qualified team? Are they going to keep you informed as well as we do? So a lot of times they'll end up coming back to us because the service isn't good that they're used to. So service, cost versus service, you want to make sure you get the good quality service as well. And again, responsiveness. We're really good with responding. You can look at our online reviews. We have really good reviews, and we have a great cancellation policy. And then also, there was an event I forgot to go over. Learn more about our property management webinar that we're going to be hosting on Tuesday, January 25th. So you can sign up for that. It's our property management webinar on Tuesday, January 25th coming up. And this gives you a guide, a little map of all the properties around San Antonio that we manage. So San Antonio is right here. Well, San Antonio is this whole map right here, but the downtown of San Antonio is going to be in the middle right here. And then it spreads out. We don't really sell properties downtown because there's not much properties to sell downtown. It's mainly businesses, commercial, retail. But we do have a lot of properties outside of downtown in the suburbs that we sell. We like selling in the suburbs. The suburbs is going to be, you're going to have tenants stay longer term. There's mostly families, the schools are good, and they're still close to lots of businesses. Downtown's not just the only place where we have businesses. We have tons of businesses in different parts of San Antonio, including the northwest part, which you see where we have quite a bit of properties near 1604 and 410 area. This is the northwest side. That's like near SeaWorld area. And then the UTSA, the university is there. That's a very busy area, a very high demand area that's close to tons of businesses. A lot of entertainment, shopping, restaurants is there. The schools are excellent there. And then we also like to sell in the northeast part of San Antonio. It's across town, but it's also close to lots of businesses, good schools, and it's close to the military bases. The northwest side and the far west side near SeaWorld is also close to Lackland Air Force Base. So both of these, northwest and northeast, we love to sell in because we get a lot. That's just a high demand area, as well as the corridor in between Austin and San Antonio, which is going to be New Braunfels and Seguin. Gerard's going to go over Seguin with you in a little bit. That's been booming. That's definitely an up and coming area. So if you want to get in an up and coming area while it's still affordable, Seguin is there. New Braunfels is pretty much already priced out, but it's still great properties we find in New Braunfels, but Seguin is right next door to New Braunfels, and that's where a lot of new growth is happening. So this is my favorite part of the webinar, and these are hand-selected properties that I researched from my MLS. I actually hand-selected these because they are all in good areas and good schools. You get good cash flow. Most of the properties we sell, and if you do conventional financing, putting 25% down, most of them are going to cash flow anywhere from $200 to $300 a month after all fixed expenses. And that's great because your first year you're cash flowing positive. You know, you do have a vacancy every now and then. You will have maintenance every now and then, and we'll show you what those variables will be. But you're not going to have those every single month. So I'll go over the first property, which is located in the northeast part of San Antonio, and we call it Converse. Now, a lot of people will say, is that part of San Antonio? Is that way outside of San Antonio? San Antonio has a lot of communities that have its own police department, its own name, but it's in the middle of the city. It's part of the city. It's just an area of San Antonio, just like LA has West LA, you know, Pasadena. So San Antonio, this is part of San Antonio, but it's Converse. It's a community in the northeast part, which is a very nice area that we sell a lot of properties in. Lots of good schools, and it's close to 2 military bases, so we see a lot of military families here. This property is a single family house. It's a nice 2-story. Most of our properties that we sell are going to be year built 2000 on up. This one was built in the year 2009. It is a Class A property. It's over 2,700 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So there's a half restroom downstairs, And then there's all the bedrooms are upstairs, but it's very spacious. So this is priced, purchase price at $265,000, which is great. It's very affordable. The down payment, if you just put 25% down, that's a little over $66,000. The rent, everything that we put on our website, we pull rental comps in that exact same neighborhood, similar square footage, recent ones in the past 6 months to see what rented recently. And that's how we get our gross rent. These are the projected rents based off the comps. And this property, we could get $1,850 a month rent because of the fact that it is over 2,700 square feet. It is 4 bedrooms versus 3 bedrooms. So that's why we are able to get $1,850 monthly rent on this. Now, there are taxes and insurance as your monthly fixed fees. There is a small HOA. Most of the homes we sell in San Antonio are in HOAs, which is not a bad thing because our HOAs are very affordable. They're not $400 or $500 a month like California. These are going to be $400 or $500 a year, yearly. Some are $300 a year, some are $200 a year. This one's only like $16.67 a month. And most people like living in communities that have HOAs because they provide a community pool, playground, some have a basketball courts, jogging trails. It just depends on the community, but that helps the tenants stay longer term because they get used to it, their kids get used to it, they get friends with the neighbors, and the kids are friends with the neighbors. So it creates, a sense of wanting to stay there longer. And it's nice, a lot of them have gated neighborhoods too, are nice, but it's not needed though, because these are all in good areas. But after all fixed expenses, your monthly income is going to be $255 a month. So that's highlighted in green here. If you do have a vacancy and maintenance, so after you sell, you close, you're going to have a vacancy. So your first year, you're going to see the variable, and then you'll have some maintenance, maybe to do like a make ready. So you'll be in the negative, which it shows right here, but it's not a very low negative. But you're not going to have that every year. Like some tenants will stay 5 or 6 years. The average tenant stays about 5 years in these nice communities that have like the amenities, like the community pool. And then this shows your 15-year projected profit. This is awesome. This is showing just holding the property for 15 years, not paying anything down, not paying anything extra to pay it down, just letting the tenant pay the mortgage. You're going to get projected profit over $221,000. That's awesome. That's like way safer than the stock market. And then 15-year annual ROI. So return on investment, is that what that's, what it stands for? It's going to be 19.24%. That's a good return. And that's not even including increasing rents every year. That's assuming the rent's going to stay at $1,850 for 15 years, which is not the case. Each year we tend to raise the rents, not by a lot, just by anywhere from $50 to $100. So it's not high enough to scare off the tenant, but we want to keep up with the market rents. That's what a good property management company will do. They want to keep up with the market rent so that you're not keeping the same rent as you did 10 years ago, because everything is going up each year. And then so keep in mind, it's going to be even a higher ROI as we increase rents each year. So that's a really good property that's available. Just let Thomas know if you're interested in any of these properties, because they are available as of right now. This is another property that's available. It's a single family Class A house built in 2010. It's 1,556 square feet. It's priced at $284,700. It is in a little higher class area, like a nicer neighborhood than the other one. And it's also a little bit newer, I believe. So just keep in mind that some of these may be smaller, but it's a different builder that has more upgrades on it that makes it that higher price. There's different homes, like maybe this one will have granite countertops versus the other one that just has the Formica countertops, but we rent out both just as fast. It's just, it's not going to make, a huge difference as far as, because tenants are still wanting, to live in certain neighborhoods because of the schools and close to businesses. So this one, we could get 1850 rent. I know this one's the same rent as the first one, but this one is only 3-bed and it's smaller, but it's going to have more upgrades. So yeah, this one does have more upgrades. So the fixed expenses after your monthly income after all the fixed expenses, including after paying off the mortgage, taxes, insurance, management fee, the HOA, it's going to be $226 a month, which is great. And then your appreciation is definitely good. It's going to be over $233,000 if you hold it for 15 years. And then here's another great property. This is located in New Braunfels, which is going to be right on past the northeast side of San Antonio. It's going to be almost in between Austin and San Antonio. It's about 35, 40 minutes away from Austin, south of Austin, and about 15 minutes outside of San Antonio. New Braunfels is a nice higher end area. We do see a lot of pricier homes in that area than this, but this is great that we could still find homes under $300,000. This is built in 2017, so it is newer. It's 1,680 square feet, 3 beds, 2 bath, right under $280,000. And with the way the market is, a lot of people are asking how competitive is San Antonio. I know earlier in the beginning of this year or last year, it was very hard to get offers accepted. It's just so many multiple offers. People were having to offer anywhere from 25 to 35,000 above list price just to get their offer accepted, and they were paying the difference for appraisal. Because it wouldn't appraise because they offered higher, so that the buyer would have to pay the difference. Now it's not as bad. You're going to buy at a good time because it's a lot more stabilized now. You're still going to have to pay above list price, but it's not going to be crazy like it was before. It can be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 above list price. My clients' offers have been getting accepted with $5,000 to $10,000, and that doesn't even make a big difference in your mortgage payment. And that's not a huge difference to pay an appraisal either. So that's great that that it's leveled out that way. The values are still high; they're not dropping, but just it's not as crazy as it was. So after all fixed expenses, the monthly rent I could get would be right under $1,800. It would be $1,795 a month, and then the monthly income after all fixed expenses is $283 a month. And then your profit would be after 15 years, annual ROI is over 20%, with a 15-year hold being over $242,000. So that's great with these properties. I mean, it's so affordable to buy here, which you can get in San Antonio. A lot of you probably can afford several of these. I have a lot of clients that buy 2 or 3 a year, and then cash out refi, and then do other properties as the following year or two. So with that in mind, I'm going to introduce my coworker, Gerard Koladachek.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for spending some time with us this evening. My name is Gerard Koladachek. I am a native of San Antonio. My wife and I do own real estate investments of our own here in the area. And I started off very similar to Christina. We actually knew each other many years ago in the mortgage business. And so we learned the lending side first, and then I did construction, was a senior project manager, and did some construction for many years in between, and then got back into real estate just probably about 4 years ago, and really, really enjoyed it. Happily married to my amazing wife, 3 amazing little ladies. And a little bit about myself to put on there is I love to fish and I love to play guitar and sing. So a little bit about me. And if you want to know how to pronounce my last name like Christina did there, Coca-Cola Day and Check, Koladachek. So that was one easy way to help everybody remember how to say my last name. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about multifamily. And Christina did a really good job of showing you some single family resident properties. And we have people that come in and their criteria calls for they want to look into multifamily properties. These are very popular for a great reason. They turn over and they have, great returns. And you actually get a little bit more bang for your buck if you have the ability to put in the amounts. Amounts right now on some of these properties are between about 460 to 475 on some new properties. And the reason we're looking at some of the new construction on these duplexes is because Christina and I, when we pull up every morning on our MLS and we look for anything that's existing, it's pretty much non-existent. The few properties that do come up normally are not that impressive, and nothing that we would want to manage nor advise any one of you to pick up and purchase. So we had to think outside of the box. So what we did is we started really taking a look at some of these builders and understanding the construction and understanding the lending and understanding the real estate side. We've taken all that expertise and put it together. And we really searched out some really, really good builders. And these are things that we've really some of the criteria we use to weed out some of these builders is, are they reliable? Do they have a nice finished product? How are they catering to our investors? And we started thinking about all these things, and we narrowed it down to a few builders that we really wanted to work with. And we now have some great builders that are able to work with us directly, and we don't even market some of these properties. And so the thing about it is Marshall Reddick clients have the ability to come in and get off-market new construction duplexes. And we've chosen some areas and the builders, like we mentioned, and we've just really, really been happy with the relationship that we've created. And as a customer of Marshall Reddick, we pass that benefit on to you. So talking about the new construction, this is a picture here out in Seguin, Texas, as Christina showed you the map earlier. If you're looking at central downtown San Antonio and you go east, that's where you're going to find Seguin. Seguin is one of the top areas right now near San Antonio that is growing. And a lot of that has to do, if you're east of San Antonio but go north, you're in New Braunfels. And as Christina mentioned, infrastructure, everything about New Braunfels is just, they can't keep up right now. So the traffic is moving south of New Braunfels into Seguin. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. Up next, where is Seguin? Well, here's the map again for you. It's just right to the east of San Antonio. As I mentioned, look north, you've got New Braunfels. Popular areas out there, not too far from Randolph Air Force Base, which is one of the better. Anytime you can get a rental property near an Air Force Base, you have reliable renters that pay on time and they take care of your properties. A lot of the people that come in from these Air Force bases have orders for 3 to 5 years and they don't want to move every year, so they're looking for a property where they can stay in. So always excellent renters when you're near an Air Force Base. Here's some pictures in Seguin of a subdivision that we are working on right now. This is from the Jordan Creek neighborhood. And as a matter of fact, these properties just sold within the last couple of weeks. Fantastic job, as you can tell. Properties look really nice. Some things I want you to notice in this picture right here is these builders are they've really thought out, what it takes. What can we do to make it a more comfortable buying experience for the buyers that are buying these duplexes? Notice that the front yards are xeriscaped. Backyards have grass. These are things that keep the appearance of the house looking nice. You don't really always want to necessarily rely on the renters to make everything look nice in the front yard in case you have any HOA challenges. They've thought about all that. These houses come with things like in Texas code, you have to have a second deadbolt lock on there that only locks and unlocks from the inside, not the outside. That's it's Texas code. These duplexes come ready for you to basically step right in. For the majority of all the ones that we sell off market, they're going to come, with these features. There may be some that come up. We'll let you know if there are any features in it that may, be a fee. If there's maybe not a refrigerator that comes with it, that might be something, maybe a garage door opener. Either way, we will let you know. These you're looking at here right now come fully ready to go as soon as you close on the property. And if you decide to use us for property management, which we hope you do, that you're ready to roll right in and get somebody in there. I sold one of these 2 weeks ago. Both units are already filled right now. It was that quick. We have some people out there in Seguin right now, and some of these other surrounding areas that we are doing these duplex sales. We have people that are staying. They got jobs in the areas, and they're staying in hotels. So for them, they walk into some of these duplexes, they realize they don't have to pay the full rent of a single family home, just a little bit below, and they're excited. So we have a lot of people that are really excited about renting these. Next slide, this is a front picture, as you can see, really nice, really clean, everything on these brand new duplexes. Here's another, just a different color scheme. You've got 2-car garages, again, pretty highly sought out. A lot of the duplexes that you see out in this area only came with 1-car garages, so this is an upgrade for the area. A couple things, here's some pictures on the inside of some of these duplexes. These are considered luxury duplexes. As you can see, it looks like in this one, we have made a couple changes. You'll see on the floor that we have some stained concrete. We're not doing stained concrete anymore. We're actually doing some vinyl plank, which is a lot nicer, stays nicer. And we just chose that people were going and putting rugs down. You'd have a tenant come out, and then all of a sudden your stain was gone. You needed to restain it. So we're getting past that in a more durable product. But ceiling fans in the living rooms, bedrooms, out on the porch, you can see there's a nice covered porch there. Good area to go out and have a barbecue, entertain if they want to. Couple pictures there. Really, really nice. High ceilings. You can see in this next picture here, you got a tray ceiling in the bedroom. Again, another ceiling fan. Here's a picture of the bathroom. And you got the dual vanity in there as well. Another picture of the bedroom as well. As mentioned before, flooring is going to be wood laminate, not the stained concrete. Easier to maintain. Here's the kitchen. Granite countertops. Comes with all the stainless steel appliances. You got a microwave with a vent with a vent on it. You've got the dishwasher. You've got the stove, refrigerator, all the appliances needed. Basically, just it's rent ready. Some other great things about this, again, when we're talking to these builders, we need them to deliver a great product, and they need to have a warranty. It's been a great relationship. So with this, it comes with a 10-year builder warranty, full sod and sprinkler system in the back. In Texas, we can have some hot days where we don't have rain for so many days in a row. It's nice to be able to have a sprinkler system. And if there's sod in the backyard, the way we expect on property management is, we want them to take care of the yards. It needs to be in the condition it was left in. So we give them the tools of what they need as far as the renters. They have a sprinkler system there. They should be able to take care of the yard. Again, they're only taking care of the backyard. The front yard is xeriscape. Okay, so let's talk numbers. A few things as we go through this. This 3436, 3438 Scott Circle in Seguin, Texas. This one was priced at $450,000. This is considering a 30% down payment. Gross rent, you're looking at, what is that, $1,550 per unit, so a total of $3,100. And monthly income, you can see, is a little bit higher than the single family, but you're putting in a little bit more money, is $627.86 after fixed expenses. You can talk in there, you can look in there below, as Christina mentioned before, estimated maintenance might be 5%, estimated vacancy might be 8%. These are really popular. As I mentioned, 2 weeks. The one I sold 2 weeks ago it's already filled with 2 tenants in it. Probably haven't even made their first mortgage payment on it yet. So Vacancies on these are pretty low. As far as maintenance goes, it's a brand new home with a warranty. So when you look at the estimated monthly cash flow after the variable expenses, you can kind of take that with a little bit of a grain of salt and say, okay, this is a new property and they've historically rented pretty fast. Looking a little further down where it says 15-year projected profit, I want to talk about this, and this also goes for Christina's slides. That number you're looking at there, and you'll see this in a little bit more detail. Once we get in contact and we start working on properties with you, we will send you a link where you can go through and manipulate these numbers, take a look at them yourself if you want to do some changes on them. But it's going to explain to you a little bit more where these numbers come from, and even have a little section off to the side where you can click on the formula and you yourself can take a look at how we're coming up with some of these numbers. But that 15-year projected profit, it takes into consideration how much that we feel the property is going to appraise, how much monthly income comes in, and it also takes out the amount that it would cost you for real estate fees on the sale and an estimated closing costs. So this is truly a number that we estimate for a 15-year projected profit after those expenses are taken out. So 15-year annual ROI, right around 19, just above 19%, great investment. So again, these are really fantastic opportunities that are not going to be seen by the public. Here's one right now that I have under contract, 219, 221 Joseph Circle. This is in Schertz, Texas. So if we were going back and taking a look at the map, if you're leaving San Antonio going up I-35, about halfway to New Braunfels is going to be Schertz, Texas. And so in that area, we have a lot of demand. So in anything in that area that we can find in the right spot, we consider it to be attractive. So here's another one right here. List price on this one, $465,000. Gross rent, $3,300. So a little bit more rent than the other one, another $200 per month in total in rent. You're looking at monthly income on this, $623.94. And again, 15-year projected profit, $424,809.57, right at about 19%. So these are really solid, very consistent in what we're looking at here. And again, 2-car garages, really nice looking yards. Plenty of room to have 4 cars in each driveway if you wanted to. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass this back to Thomas. Thank you all very much for spending some time with us this evening.
Right. Thank you, Christina, and thank you, Gerard. Tons of information. That's pretty cool with the new duplexes they got going on there. So yeah. So next steps, everybody always asks the question of what are the next steps? Say you saw a property that you liked. I know they were talking about those are available properties they pulled from the MLS, or they are pocket listings that they have off market. What are the next steps? So first and foremost is, reach out to me, your advisor, for a consultation where we can sit down, look at your finances, get you pre-approved, and figure out exactly where in Texas you're looking for or which property you want to pick. So first thing to expect from a consultation is it's more in depth than just having a conversation. We actually have targeted goals. So number one is goal setting. We're going to look at, are you looking for cash flow? Are you looking for appreciation? What is your real motivation? Are you going to retire in 2 years and you're looking to have some passive income? Are you looking to leverage as much as possible and get a portfolio that'll be really blossoming in 10, 15 years? There's different goals. Next is how we look at our different options. Are we going to be 1031 exchanging, or are we going to be using a self-directed IRA? Where's the finances coming from? What's our motivation? And how we can help you best leverage your portfolio you currently have and grow it into a new one. When? A lot of people don't think about that, but when is very important. You tell me I want to buy a place in 30 days, we'll make it happen. You tell me I want to buy a place in 6 months, I'll make sure to follow up with you in 6 months. So deciding on a time frame is very important of when you're looking to purchase. Also, right now, with interest rates starting to creep up, that's a lot of people are starting to make the move. I'd say if you're thinking about making a purchase in the next 6 months, I'd lean towards the first 3 of the next 6 months. What setting your criteria? Are you looking for single family duplexes, so on and so forth? Again, where? Identifying which market, whether that be the San Antonio, Converse, or different areas, Seguin, New Braunfels, depending on the market. And of course, last but not least, who introduced you to all the key players? We've been in business for many, many years, whether you have an easy portfolio where you're just getting a conventional loan, or you got a complex portfolio where you're looking to consolidate some finances. We have great referral partners, including those who would help with a self-directed IRA, those that would help with 1031 cash deferred exchanges. We have all the connections that you would need. And here's some contact information. We're going to wrap it up with this. You can go to marshallreddick.com/consultation, or you can take down my personal information right there. Give me a text, give me a call, give me an email, and I will schedule a time and we will sit down and help you advance your real estate investment goals. Again, Gerard, Christina, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I don't know if you want to tell everybody a good goodbye, but thank you everyone for attending.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. One more thing I wanted to bring up, Thomas, before we leave here is on those duplexes. If those are something that you're interested in, when you talk to Thomas, these duplexes are not always available. However, Thomas can work with you. If you want to be on a list of people that are going, if you'd like to be on the waiting list for any of these to come up and for us to call you as soon as the opportunities do come up, please let Thomas know that. That's very important because, as we mentioned, there are not a lot of these properties in San Antonio and in surrounding areas, but once we find them, we will reach out. But it's not uncommon for 6 or 20 of these to be released at lot phase and them sell out the exact same day. So let us help you prepare for that by letting us know if you want to be on that list.
I can't help but stress that even more so, Gerard. I can't tell you how many times I've been working with clients, and it's kind of nice to have the list and people lined up because they might sell out on the first day, but when you're on the wait list, either the next phase of the development comes out, or even sometimes somebody gives up on their reservation and they either drop out, or when those properties come due, it helps to have people who say, hey, I've got my hand raised, I'm ready to buy it, and things get lined up in less than 24 hours sometimes. So yeah, very important. Reach out, let me know. Again, thank you everyone. We're going to wrap it up here. We're great, we're right on time, and yeah, if you have any questions, schedule a consultation. Thank you much.
Thank you.